Aaron Houston here, Director of Government Relations with the Marijuana Policy Project on Capitol Hill in Washington, D.C. I just returned from a meeting of the House Appropriations Committee where I testified, and I thought I'd tell you a little bit about it. As you probably already know, on October 19th of last year, Deputy Attorney General David Ogden in the Department of Justice issued a memorandum to U.S. attorneys around the country spelling out the new position of the department that federal resources should not be concentrated on individuals whose actions are in clear and unambiguous compliance with state laws providing for medical marijuana. Obviously, I applauded that policy that's laid out in that memo as a step in the right direction. But given the diversity among the state medical marijuana laws, I stressed to the committee members that the policy should be changed so that federal authorities defer to state or local enforcement or regulatory authorities for their understanding of state law. And that's because when there is a federal prosecution, it needs to be in state court. This is critical because under current law, defendants in federal court who are charged with marijuana-related activities who are in compliance with state law are not even allowed to mention the fact that they were in compliance with that state law. So there's no opportunity there for a fair defense in court. So I asked that the committee ask the DEA to not lead any raids on individuals who have a real possibility of raising a state medical marijuana defense in court, a valid defense. Allowing the state authorities to handle violations in state courts is the most just and equitable outcome, since people who are acting in good faith compliance with state law have no defense whatsoever in federal court. I also noted as an aside that Congressman Farr's Truth in Trials Act would remedy this injustice, allowing defendants in federal court to tell the truth about the state law that they were in compliance with that allowed them to use or dispense marijuana. Secondly, I asked the committee to urge the Department of Justice to consider conditioning grant awards for state and municipal correction systems, prisons, on those systems or prisons' certifications that no inmates convicted of crimes of violence, including sexual assault or abuse, will have been furloughed before any nonviolent marijuana offenders, people whose sole offense involves possession, sale, or manufacture of marijuana. And this is because the Associated Press reported a disturbing trend on March 31st of this year, noting that inmates convicted of violent crimes are among those being freed early from California jails to save money, despite promises from lawmakers that they would exclude the most dangerous prisoners and sex offenders. An Associated Press review of inmate data shows that some of the freed criminals who were convicted of sex offenses, offenses with deadly weapons, battery, attacks on children and the elderly. So prioritizing the release of people whose only crime is marijuana related just makes sense. So we hope the committee and the Department of Justice take heed so that our streets are safer and that our public safety resources are used more effectively. It was exciting to get the opportunity to testify, but the work has just begun, and this is where you come in. I speak for you on the Hill, I'm your voice there, but I also hope that you will directly contact your member of Congress and your senators. You and others around the country will amplify our message and demonstrate the growing multitudes of supporters around the country in support of this issue. Please visit mpp.org and write your member of Congress today. Thanks.